I'm John Trischler, and today we're going to do a head-to-head comparison between the ROUSH F-150 and the Ford F-150 Raptor. These are the two hottest trucks on the market right now, and we're going to talk about what make these two trucks tick. Some of the differences between the two, the advantages to one versus the other, and you can decide which one is the right truck for you. Let's take a look at them. All right, so let's start here. You'll notice the grille here in the Raptor has the raised Ford lettering. And then if we go over here to the ROUSH F-150, you'll notice the grille's a little different style, but it does have the ROUSH wording in the grille there. Both grilles are unique to these two trucks. So the ROUSH grille is unique to the ROUSH, and the Raptor grille is unique to the Raptor. As we go down below here, you'll see the panel finishes down here in the bumper. You've got painted corners on both sides of the ROUSH truck. On our Raptor, your bumper goes down. It's also gray like the grille. You do have two pockets here in the bottom of the bumper on the Raptor. You'll notice on your fender flares here, on the ROUSH truck, you've got the large fender flares. And you do have the marker lights, you'll notice down below here. On the Raptor, you'll also notice the marker lights below in the fender flares. Fender flares not quite as aggressive, but the fender itself does widen a little bit there. Both trucks have LED headlights. Okay. As we go to the hood, you'll notice this truck has the optional hood graphics, and it has some slatted vents here in the hood, heat extractors. On the ROUSH truck, it has the hood graphics as well. These are actually standard equipment on the ROUSH truck, where they're optional on the Raptor. A little different styling, but similar in a lot of ways. Let's talk about the wheels. So one of the big advantages to a lot of people on the ROUSH F-150 is that you get the bigger 20-inch wheels and more aggressive off-road tires. As we look to the Raptor, you've got the off-road tires as well, not quite as aggressive, but a 17-inch wheel. So let's talk about that for a minute. Obviously, the 17-inch wheel is going to have more tire sidewall. The advantage of that is going to be for more heavy high-speed off-road use, where a 20-inch wheel is going to give you a little less sidewall. But 90% of the people that use these trucks don't use them in the desert going 90, 95, 100 miles an hour. So that's not really going to be a benefit to a lot of people. So you have to ask yourself whether that is a benefit to you. The other thing that most people will do is they'll take these wheels off of the Raptor and they'll put a set of 20-inch wheels on anyway, which you don't have to do. Obviously, they come already on the ROUSH F-150. ROUSH also does a mid-perch adjustment on these trucks from the factory. So you'll notice the front sit up between the height of the wheel well and the tire, and the back both sit up about the same height. Whereas on your Raptor, you're going to have a little bit more of a slope, although they've done a little bit better job this year on getting that a little more even between the two there. All right. On the Raptor and the fender, you have a vent here. You don't have that on the ROUSH F-150. You do have the word ROUSH here. All right, on your bed graphics, so here are the optional ROUSH F-150 bed graphics. Similar splash graphic to what the Raptors used to have. And here are the optional bed graphics on the Raptor. Both the same cab configuration, both the crew cab. You can get either one of them in an extended cab or a crew cab. And on the interior, we'll get into that here in a minute. The interior, basically the same. They'll have a little difference in the color and the stitching and so on, but all the equipment, the electronics and everything else are going to be very, very similar depending on which platform content that you pick between. For example, on the ROUSH F-150, you can start with the more basic XLT version. You can go up to the LARIAT version. This is the loaded LARIAT, so it's going to be the high-end version. Same thing on the Raptor, the 802A package, which is the loaded version of that. So it's going to contain a lot of that extra content. So let's go ahead and walk around here to the back. And on the ROUSH truck, you'll notice you've got the twin chrome tip exhaust here. And on the Raptor, you're going to have blacked out dual exhaust here out the back. And then we look at our tailgate applique here. This is the optional tailgate applique. So if you don't choose this option for $495, you're just going to get the flat tailgate on the Raptor, but this is the optional tailgate applique. This is the ROUSH tailgate applique, which is a graphic, and that is standard, so that's going to come with it either way. So those are some of your outside differences. Now let's talk about some of the functionality of the two trucks, some of the benefits to one versus the other as far as powertrain goes. Because I know the next thing you're all going to ask, what is the difference in the sound? Well, so the Raptor is going to come with an EcoBoost 3.5 V6. That's all they come with. They do not come with a V8 this year. That's kind of the main reason that Roush designed this Roush F-150, is because the Raptor only comes with the EcoBoost V6. So for those of you that remember back in 2013-14, Roush made a Roush Raptor, which was essentially this. So what they would do is take the Raptor that already had the 6.2 V8 and they supercharged it, put some different exhaust on it and some other things, and now you had a Super Raptor. Well, since Ford is going away from the V8 engine in the Raptors, they only have the 3.5 EcoBoost V6, you obviously can't do that. You can't supercharge that V6. So what Roush has done is essentially built their own Raptor with this truck. So you're going to have the Fox suspension. It's a Fox 2.0 under this one. Like the Raptor has the Fox 3.0, but they both have a Fox suspension under them, so they're going to have that longer travel, they're going to have a better ride quality, and so on. But the Roush truck is going to have the V8 option with the 5-liter, which can come either naturally aspirated or supercharged. Supercharged in the 5-liter V8 Roush truck, you're going to get 600 horsepower. You've got an optional 650 horsepower Phase 2 upgrade that you can also choose for the Roush F-150. On the Raptor truck, you're going to have a 450 horsepower 3.5 EcoBoost V6. So if you're after the power, if you're after the V8 engine, then the Roush truck is going to be the one for you. If you want the Raptor because you want the Raptor is obviously for you. Now, there's obviously going to be a difference in the sound of the exhaust between the two, with the V8, with the Roush exhaust, and so on. So let's go ahead and start both of them so you can hear those and compare. All right, so let's go ahead and start the Raptor first. All right, now let's go ahead and start the Roush F-150. So you can see the difference in sound between the two that the V8 makes versus the V6. So again, for some of you that may matter, for others it may not. So again, it's all personal preference on whether that V8 is a big deal or not. As we look here in the interior of the Roush F-150, first off, I'll point out here the running boards. You've got the flat boards, a little different style than the Raptor. And here our Raptor has the platform running boards with the Raptor logo in the back there. But as we get in here on the interior, you'll notice, like here our door panels, for example, are very, very similar. I'm going to open the door here on our Raptor. And you'll see the door panels again, very, very similar between the two. This one does have the optional carbon fiber and interior package, which is a really short commodity, so that's going to be hard to get anyway. But as you can see, they look very, very, very similar between the two. Interior-wise, we look here at our seats. You've got an all-black seat here in the Roush F-150. You do have some optional custom ROUSH leather that you can get if you do choose to upgrade to that. It's a little more extreme than this is, but that is an option for you. On the Raptor truck, again, really about the same seat. The biggest difference is going to be the word Raptor stitched in the back of the seat here, and the two-tone section here of the seat as well. Center console is going to be the same. See our display here for our stereo and controls and automatic climate control and everything. Those are going to be the same. Let's go back over here to our ROUSH truck. You'll notice, again, those components are all the same. So functionality, here's our moonroof, or double panel moonroof. It's closed, but you get the idea. So our functionality between the two, equipment-wise, if you order the same type equipment, because there are, again, different levels of equipment that you can get in these trucks. If you get the loaded version or the base version, apples to apples, both are going to be very, very similar. So really from there, it just kind of becomes personal preference. I'm going to go ahead and walk around both of these so you can get a real clear picture of the full trucks, because I know we went back and forth on both of them up close, so you may not be able to get a good visual of the whole truck. One other thing to point out here as well, the Raptor wheel width is just a tick wider than the ROUSH F-Road, or excuse me, than the ROUSH Off-Road F-150. And the advantage to that would be on the ROUSH truck, you can, just barely, but you can fit through a regular car wash where the Raptor would not be able to fit through one. So keep that in mind also if that is or is not important to you. But let's go ahead and walk around this. And let's go ahead and walk around this ROUSH truck as well. Try to get a little further back here so you can see the stance there of that truck. And so you can see the stance of that truck. So again, two fantastic trucks. It really just depends on your preference onto which one fits the bill for you. And from there, you just need to let me know and I'll get you hooked up on whichever truck you prefer. So again, let's talk about some of the key benefits to one versus the other. I'm sorry, key differences. Let's just do it that way. On the supercharged ROUSH F-150 V8 600 horsepower with an optional phase 2 upgrade to 650. The Ford F-150 Raptor 450 horsepower. So you've got 150 horsepower or a 200 horsepower advantage to the ROUSH truck. You've got the V8 advantage if that's important to you. Suspension wise, a little bit beefier on the Raptor with a Fox 3.0 versus a 2.0. A little wider between the two. Exhaust obviously is a little bit better on the ROUSH truck. You're going to hear that 30 exhaust a little bit more. And you've got 20-inch wheels already on the ROUSH F-150 versus the 17s. So that's not something you need to go out and spend money on right away either. And really it just comes down to which of those things are the most important to you. Production-wise, you're probably, there's not a set number, but probably around 1,000 F-150 ROUSH trucks probably on the road, probably about 15,000 Raptors. So the ROUSH truck is going to be a little bit more limited as well between the two over time. So again, it comes down to personal preference. You can't go wrong with either truck. If you have any other questions, please feel free to email me or comment below so that I can be sure to answer those. Again, thanks for watching my videos. I hope this has been informative. Let me know if you have any questions. If you're in the market for either of these vehicles, I'd love to take care of you on either one. And if you're looking to dress your truck up with either one, I do have several accessories available for these, and I've got some new ones coming out all the time. So be sure to rate, comment, and subscribe. Let me know if you have any other questions, and thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.